It's wonderful to see you all. I know we're still here on Zoom, so let's keep our fingers crossed, and maybe in August or September we can begin to meet face to face, because it will be wonderful to actually be together in person. But it's better to be on Zoom and be together than not at all. So thank you so much. I know that May is a crazy time for everybody, very busy. I know it has been for us at Winston-Salem State as well. So I really appreciate everybody is here to support AAHI. So this is where I always forget, do we do roll call even without the quorum? Wanda, I need your help. I never remember that.
Well, it would be good to, but I know that apparently, I don't know if Carlin is like on. I don't know if she's in the middle of a call with someone.
Yes,
there's
Beverly Williams is trying to log in. She's currently in her car, so, but I'm working on it.
Thank you so much. Well, maybe
thanks, Carlin. Do you have time to do roll call? Sorry.
I actually will do it this afternoon.
Okay, great, Erica. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Cynthia Villagomez.
Present.
Mr. Robert Dura.
Present.
Mr. William Fulton. Ms. Betty Haynes. Mr. Donald Scales. Ms. Beverly Williams. Ms. Sheila Williams.
Erica, I know Ms. Williams is on.
Yeah, she's calling.
Sure.
I think she said she was calling from her car. So
okay.
All right. And Miss Annette Wilson.
Present.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, everyone. Well, we won't adopt the minutes yet since we don't have a quorum. So I will jump right in with my updates. So the first is that I have been working, or especially the students, our student interns, have been working diligently this semester and continue to do so. This week they're doing extra reading and writing on behalf of AAHI. I have spent generally about 12 hours altogether each week with different groups of interns. So I've been preparing some of the newer ones, and they're really, really excited about AAHI. And this semester, I have really worked with them to educate them about public history, about AAHI, the best practices of all different ways of doing public history. So they will be really raring to go in the fall. And then we have some graduating seniors, and so they are working on different narratives for AAHI. And hopefully we will bring them back for these community sort of Zoom and even face-to-face presentations that we talked about last month, that we would be organizing along with the Historic Resources Commission. So one of the things that I want to share, and Mr. Flynn can confirm this, one of our interns, JJ Ernest, has been working all semester actually on 2 projects. So he's looking at who built Slater Academy and the early teacher college buildings. So who are the architects, who are the funders, so who paid, and who actually did the labor. So he's looking at that in anticipation of our major project in the fall and next spring. But yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, he called and let me know that he had, with the help of Mr. Flynn, taken something like over 100 pages of documents in our Winston-Salem State Archive of documents related to the Reverend Dr. K.R. Williams. So he will be collaborating on the narrative that will support our application for the commemoration of Dr. Williams in the North Carolina Civil Rights Trail, but also for a narrative for AAHI. So hopefully JJ can present those narratives maybe early in the fall. But he basically is looking at documents that maybe other people don't know about, so he can really write some of the history, the unknown but wonderful history of Dr. Williams' contributions, not only to the university, but to our whole community. So I'm very, very excited about what JJ is going to do with that and with the Slater Academy project. Next fall, we will really be trying to focus on finding, or let's say using the planning for the We Built This project that will come in February to kind of bring people together. So students probably will be focusing on one building or one builder for their project in the fall, but I want to invite the committee members to work with us. And also, if you decide you want to focus on a building, maybe, and even gather people at that building to collect oral histories, we can work on that. So just as last year, we really focused on redlining, in the coming year, we will do our very best to kind of create these anchors to get all of us involved, get our community involved, and keep the interns very, very busy. So that leads us to the next issue, which are the oral histories. So we've had a few people from the community contact us about elders, and I reached back out to Mr. Ike Black today. So we'll be planning some nice meetings to get to know Miss Naomi Jones. So hopefully we'll do that. I just need to get through finals, and then we'll work on that for a little later in May. And so I know that Miss Sheila Williams wants to join me, and I would invite anyone else, because I think we need to remember to use oral histories as relationships, or as opportunities to build relationships and really support our elders. And they may have a lot to share with us. And we don't want to just have it be one meeting, but meetings where, again, we can support them and keep our connection with them. But I do want to bring up this issue. We're now really coming out of COVID, and I know that this project was initially conceived to be especially focused on the collection of oral histories of our elders. And I know Councilperson Scipio has reminded us often that we lose a precious elder every week. And when we do lose them, all those precious memories are gone. And Mr. Flynn has reminded us over the last few years that how important our project is, because when a city is sponsoring this kind of collection of the histories, they will never be lost. He and I just had an email exchange with a gentleman who was seeking some important oral histories that were collected at my university back in the 1970s, but they've been lost. We don't know where they are. And with our project, the precious histories will never be lost once we upload them. So I just want to encourage everyone. We sort of treaded water over the last 2 years by trying to do some research and writing behind the scenes for our future storyboards for our online project. But now that we're healthy again and things are safer and the community is opening up, we need to really get out there and And I over the summer will do my very best to keep meeting and recording histories. We'll be doing that at Juneteenth as well. But this is the last thing that I want to stress about the oral histories. I cannot do anything formally in the fall, but next spring, I'm going to revive the oral history class at Winston-Salem State. It, of course, is part of our curriculum. And so I'm going to open that class up to students, not just majors. And so over the fall, I hope I can work with every committee member and we can strategize for how I can design that class that could end up being a large class, but we would have then a whole group of service learning students and not just history majors to really get involved and get out there in the community and really support your efforts to advertise our project, to support our project, and to meet people and have them feel comfortable in sharing their histories with us. So I am strategically planning that for next spring. Again, We Built This project, so exciting. It's wonderful that our city is bringing it. It's, again, usually a very expensive project, but because some city staff is going to translate all the panels into Spanish, apparently we are going to get the exhibition for free. So this will be next February. And so I am so excited about this project that will really focus on, the beautiful creativity of Black architects and builders. And then even, I'm sure we're going to find these incredible stories that we know are out there of when folks used to get together on the weekends and everybody from the children to the ladies to all the gentlemen would help build churches, for instance, because I'm especially interested in church architecture and buildings. But this is going to be a wonderful, I think, uplifting event to celebrate our community. So any ideas you have about that project, just let me know, because the more of us are involved, the better. And then finally, summer break. So summer is almost upon us. And no, we have Juneteenth next month, and Ms. Wanda will share more about that. But we did break last year. So I don't recall whether we met in June, but I'm sure we took a break in July. So Ms. Wanda, do you have any thoughts or suggestions about taking a potential break over the course of this summer?
Thanks, Chair Villagomez. And really, it is up to you and the committee, whatever you would like to do. Of course, the staff is going to be supportive. And in terms of just so you know what some of the other commissions are doing that we work with, I do believe that the other three are taking breaks during the summer, but that's what they usually do. But that doesn't mean that that's what everyone does or has to do. But and also, if I may, with the Juneteenth, the main thing I was going to say is that I was going to concur with everything you said. You really said everything there needs to be said about that being an excellent opportunity to be out in the community. And if it's advertised and people know that when they come to Juneteenth that they can bring information with them, whether it's documents or photos, or be prepared to share oral histories, that would be a really opportune time to do it. We can make sure we have the equipment on site and all of that. So I know that Mr. Frank Elliott, who had planned to be with us today, but had a conflict at the last minute, he had planned to tell you all that marketing and communications could be available to assist with making sure that the word gets out about the fact that the AAHI would be on site and be ready and able to collect whatever information the community would like to share. So it would just be a matter of knowing that committee members can be there. Maybe I would suggest even maybe being there in shifts so that no one person has to be there the whole time. Maybe, you know, just be there 1-2 hours at a time, whatever the case may be, along with the staff. So that was the biggest thing I wanted to emphasize, but it's important, as Frank Elliott has said in the past, that marketing kind of have an idea of what it is that you all would like to do. Go ahead and start making plans for help you get and do a press release, all the other things that they could do to assist. But thank you.
Thank you for all of that. I did look up the schedule, the official schedule for Juneteenth right before the meeting, and found out that this year apparently all the events in the Biotech Center, which is where we always have our table and our brochures and where we meet people. Apparently, it's only going to be set up in there from 1 to 5. At least that's what the Triad Cultural Arts site has to say. So I think previously, and Miss Wilson can help me on this, I think we used to have a morning shift and an afternoon shift. Am I correct on that?
No, I think we had 1 to 5 was what we had before.
Okay.
I don't remember being asked to come earlier. I could be wrong, but I know last year it was just in the afternoon.
It might have been just the first year that I participated, which was the year that we opened up at the last minute, and Harry did an excellent job of within a few days putting together the actual in-person event. It was amazing what she accomplished. But this year it'll be 1 to 5, and I do plan to be there that whole time. And if other people can come in shifts, that will be great. I will try to bring some of the interns. Last year I had one of our former interns, Mr. Jalen Robbins, who had done a lot of public history work, and he helped actually the city's intern with who joined us to do the recordings. And it was great. We had our own room last year, and Miss Beverly and Miss Annette went and met many people, and really publicized and engaged community members, and ended up having some people who were willing to give wonderful stories for us. It was really a great day. So hopefully everybody can come. That will be on a Saturday. So June 17th is a Saturday, and there's plenty of parking I found near the Biotech Center, and it's just a wonderful day always. So you can count on me to be there. And Ms. Wanda, I have to say, marketing has done a wonderful job. I wanted to share this. I was touched by this, and I had to crack a smile as well. So earlier this week, I had to call the city because one of my trash bins had cracked. And so I was on hold for a while, and the whole time I was on hold, I kept hearing about our project. And so no news on Juneteenth, but it was a wonderful recording about our project. So very welcoming, and I was so proud. When I finally spoke to the lady who helped me, I told her about our project. So I thought that was a great way to advertise. But I'm done with my
absolutely
my report. So maybe if there are questions about anything that I had to share, maybe we can hold those till the end. And also, you know, I don't know if we have to make a decision today about possibly taking a break over the summer. And it's really going to be what the committee wishes. So I'll support what the other members want to do. So wherever we're supposed to go with that, we will. But thank you for allowing me to share my updates for this month. Ms. Wanda, do you have any additional updates?
Well, Chair Villa-Gomez, I thank you first of all. And I just wanted to acknowledge Ms. Sheila Williams, because she has really been very active, and she's one of the newer committee members. And she has attended a couple of things, and she has represented AAHI at those programs. And so I really just wanted to acknowledge that and thank her for her support, and also thank her for her willingness to represent the AAHI. And so I don't know if you can hear me, Ms. Sheila, but definitely wanted you to know that we appreciated you and your presence.
Thank you so much. And I really second that. And I also want to just share that Ms. Sheila has been very active with me behind the scenes in planning and dreaming and strategizing. And so we've had some wonderful long conversations, and so I am really excited that we're going to continue to move forward with this. And she's been able to attend events where the rest of us haven't been able to go. And, you know, that's a wonderful thing to have one person out there really representing us all. And so I am so glad she has joined our committee. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sheila.
Hopefully she can hear us. And the other thing I just wanted to mention is, you know, we've already talked about Juneteenth, of course, but we are really happy. Our department is really happy to be a partner and a sponsor for Juneteenth. And I'm not sure if a lot of the committee is aware that it was our department, along with Ms. Cheryl Harry and Mr. Larry Womble, who actually started the Juneteenth celebration here in Winston-Salem, and it's grown into what it is now, which is an awesome thing. And so we had the very first one, I remember, at Corpening Plaza. And after that, we had a panel discussion at City Hall. So most people walked from Corpening Plaza to City Hall. And then in the council chamber, we had race relations forum. We were all excited because Dr. Maya Angelou was a panelist. And so it was something that I just never forgot. And that really helped to establish and bring credibility to what the community was wanting to do with Juneteenth. And so it has just grown so much, as everyone knows now. And it's really an honor to continue to be able to support Juneteenth, especially as it is now. And we have a city recognizing it. So it's something that we hold near and dear. But I really do encourage everyone, if at all possible, again, to work with one another and my staff to be there to collect these oral histories. A lot of people are willing to do it. I think it's just a matter of knowing where they go, what to do, and giving them enough advance notice to come prepared so that they can have things in hand if they want to bring things, if they want to bring, you know, old documents, newsletters, photographs, whatever they may have. And so I just wanted to put a plug in for Juneteenth. And we do have Ms. Erica Simon, who has been extremely involved with Juneteenth over the years. And Erica, I know you weren't expecting this, but would you mind just sharing some of your thoughts or anything that you may want to say about Juneteenth with the AAHI?
Wow. Yes. So I remember the first one I attended in the city. Well, I remember there was one I attended at Rupert Bell, but I don't think I knew it was Juneteenth at the time. But then I went to one at Winston Lake. And I just remember thinking, our community absolutely needs this. And how can I make it, how can I be a part of it? And so I've been volunteering since then. And I'm really excited about it. It has certainly grown. A lot of people ask about why we have it where it is now in biotech innovation quarter, but that was where a lot of African Americans did business downtown. And so we're happy to bring it back home, per se. And it's just a wonderful event. Like I said, it's grown, and I'm just really excited about it.
Thank you so much, Erica. And thank you for allowing me to put you on the spot, but I knew that you would have some meaningful comments to make because you have been so involved. And so thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And Chair Villa-Gomez, that was all I had. And I would just like to, if you're fine, we can just segue into the city staff updates. I know Mr. Elliott, again, is not here, so he asked me to share that information with you that I shared earlier. But I do know that we have our IS department represented on the call with Miss Jackie Phillips Hayes. So Jackie, any updates that you may have?
But we don't have anything new. Everything seems to be working well. We've not got any complaints in regards to any of the workflows or processing of any of our documents that we're submitting or people accessing those documents. So I think that right now we're doing pretty good. And we're just waiting for further direction as needed. And always willing to support this project.
Thank you for all that y'all do all the time when it comes to the website and assisting with uploads and everything else. So thank you. I appreciate it, Jackie. So Chair Villa-Gomez, I think that's it from city staff.
Wonderful. Thank you. And thank you, Wanda and Erica, for the little history on Juneteenth in our city. Somebody should write a nice little article on what's happened from those first events until now. Because it's important what we do, right? We know what's gone on nationally, but it's so important, as Erica said, what we do right here in our own city and how we celebrate our own community. So I'm just putting that out there, folks. Somebody should write an article on our local history of Juneteenth. I did mention that if there were any questions or suggestions related to anything that I mentioned in my updates, this might be a nice time to brainstorm together. Anybody have any thoughts, suggestions, questions?
Chair Villa-Gomez.
Yes, ma'am.
Just piggybacking, the history of Juneteenth should be written and uploaded into the database. That's the kind of stuff that should be uploaded into the database.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
It started in the late 80s because I know I had come home when they started. They had it in the neighborhood for a while before it went downtown. But that's the kind of thing that should be written up. I want to encourage everyone on this call, if you grew up in Winston-Salem, you have a history that should be uploaded in our database. The history of your family, your parents, your grandparents, and pictures, aunts. That's the kind of history we need in that database. The organizations that you are involved in, we need to get everyone to document their history. The churches, and I'm going to actually send letters out encouraging our Black organizations to do that. That's the one thing that's missing among our Black community, is that we really don't continue to document our histories and tell the story of what we're doing. And I know because we're all so busy getting the job done, you forget to write out what was done, who was involved, what was the impact. And it's really important that we start collecting those histories. Otherwise, you're going to continue to be missing. But everyone has a family story to tell. And we must value all of our residents no matter what job they held or if they were homemakers. We must value that, talk about the neighborhoods. They no longer exist. So that's the past. There's also the present. The present, we need to document that too and upload it. It's so much good stuff going on. If we could just get that spirit of documenting experiences and uploading. This is a grand opportunity for that to happen for African Americans in our community. I also want to ask everyone to be on the lookout for family reunions that are happening over the summer. That's a great time to just record family talk and people sharing what's happened over time. And that's, I think if AAHI could connect to some of those family reunions, our database would grow also. But I just know that's a great time. I know there's the Peter Oliver family, the Oliver families are having a big reunion in August. And I know that I believe that your committee knows that there's an effort to create the Peter Oliver Park down near the Muse that's connecting Old Salem along the strollway with the Peter Oliver Park. There's a big capital campaign that's underway with Creative Corridors. It's a beautiful design. But, you know, just getting those family stories, whoever's having a family reunion, let's go out and try to capture those memories and those stories. It's just and if we don't have to do it, if we just ask the families to do it and send it to us or upload it. But just trying to get more people to participate in downloading information. And Dr. Villa-Gomez, I have collections of materials from Mr. Rudolph Boone, who's no longer living here, but I have his memorabilia in my office. It's so much. If you have, I'm going to try to have a summer intern to help with that because we had some last year, but we didn't get a chance to scan it, read it, and upload it, but it's substantial. But if you have someone who might want to, a student who might want to spend some time going through that, we'll certainly appreciate the service in my office.
Definitely.
Mr. Boone
I'm interested too.
Yeah, Mr. Boone was very, very special. And so much of, he's got scrapbooks that he kept over the years. The bands that he was involved in, their pictures that some of us have never seen. And I even saw myself, he was one of my band directors at Anderson. And I never saw the picture that that's in there. And I said, oh, I know these people. And I looked and I said, oh, that's me. And one of the, I'm saying, wow. But that's the kind of stuff we just need. And I'm working to secure the photo collection of, you would know this person, Annette Wilson might remember him, Cliff Matthews. And his wife is getting ready to move out of her house. And I told her, please let me have his photo collection so we can scan it and upload it. He was a photographer here as well as a teacher. And so many of those photos are so wonderful and valuable. So I also encourage committee members to just go out and scan some of those photos, find neighbors, friends, so we can have a real good picture of different things in that in our archive. So that was it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilperson Scipio. You always encourage us and you always bring us these wonderful, fresh, creative ideas. I would love to work on a project with you on your band leader. I am the
it's down in the office anytime you want to come.
I'll reach out to you about that because I am supposed to be the arts co-chair, so that would be appropriate. And I think in the fall, I'll definitely try to encourage one of our interns to take that on, and because I think they would love that hands-on experience of coming down and working directly in your office. But yeah. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. There's a lot of rich material, and we should be commemorating, these single stories of one important person. And as you said, sometimes they were important in that they were leaders and everyone knew them. And sometimes they, as you've said in the past, they were the homemakers, they were the bakers, they were the chefs, they were the gardeners, and we really have to celebrate them. And sometimes we meet them in the community and they don't think that they have a special story to share because they think only the doctors and the lawyers and the teachers and the politicians have interesting stories. And so we really have to build everybody's confidence up and let them see, that you don't have to be a doctor or a lawyer to be important, because all the stories are precious and we want the whole picture. We want the whole picture of Black lives and contributions in our city in this collection, not the elite only. Well, and I love working class people, and I come from working class people, and you've mentioned that many of us have, and so they are very precious, and unfortunately many people think that because they were laborers they're not important, and that's so sad. So I think that is our responsibility to uplift people and keep them proud about whatever they did, and whatever they've contributed.
And there's one other little thought that I need to get out here. Annette Wilson, make sure that we don't ignore that we are inclusive when we do the architect exhibition about the builder of your family's home here on New Walkertown Road, the builder, and the stories you told me about him.
Okay, now he was not African American.
He was not? Okay.
He was not.
Okay.
No, he was, no.
So, but I'm going to say, but some of the stuff he did was very creative.
He was very creative and and he built quite a few homes in Monticello Park and I think Salem Park, but he was,
Okay, but you know what? That is a story also.
Okay.
That is a very important story, that who made it possible for African Americans to have good housing.
Mm-hmm.
And if he built homes in Monticello and out here, and these homes still exist and they're still looking good. So I think we need to honor those builders also, because they didn't have to do it.
Okay.
And that really shows, well, what, again, my inspiration from ladies like Dorothy Height, and I know we have had our own Dorothy Heights here in town, but these stories of positive interactions across our ethnic communities, that inclusiveness, and of course, Councilperson Scipio, you've shared with me a number of very important stories about where people really came together, and you've said that that's what makes this city special in many ways, because there were good relations here at times when other cities didn't have those kinds of networks, and we need to bring those stories out.
Yep, we do. We need to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Dora, I look forward to you giving upload pictures and stories about your mother and your father. All right. One of the things
I'm sure there are some.
I think you should write them and put it up, upload it onto our database. I don't want them forgotten. And Dr. Villa Gomez, almost everyone on this committee I know, and I know what they have been involved in. And the committee members are rich in our local history in various aspects of it. And if we can engage them, particularly their family. So for Beverly Williams, her brother, James Funches, was just nominated. Well, we approved him being on the our Walk of Fame in 2 years. His story is a wonderful story that needs to be uploaded. But her father was a significant community advocate for children, and that story needs to be told. So I'm not sure where our committee members are, but I'm going to have to get them excited and get them to write their stories. Betty Haynes was one of the very first African-American bankers. And when Mechanics and Farmers came here, she was in that team that set up Mechanics and Farmers Bank. And she's a local girl, as I say, a native. So we've got to celebrate who we have and who we are, even when we don't think it was that significant. But many people have done some phenomenal contributions to this community.
Thank you, Councilperson Scipio, for encouraging us and again giving us some great ideas. I know I've been so impressed when I've gone online. For instance, the Rooted in Race project from last fall, the online collection stories are wonderful. And Councilperson Scipio, you gave oral history, and they're so easy to access, and I believe you were recorded. We could actually see you there, but maybe we can set up some meetings or some kind of event outside of our Zoom or meetings, our monthly meetings, where we could get together and really help one another and maybe begin to record those histories. We could start there, and then we could help one another write them. And again, my interns and I will be there. I will do everything to help support that. If people have ideas about where we could meet, and what day, maybe a weekend would be, maybe a Saturday would be best for everybody. But I'm here to support that. And as I've said to everybody over the past few years, if you have an idea about something you want to do related to your collection, your official collection assignments, and so if you're in charge of schools and you know there's an event, as long as you let me know a little bit in advance, I'll make arrangements so that I can be there and hopefully bring interns so we can support that. In family reunions, as you've said, Councilperson Scipio, to get people to record those and share them. But we could also, my interns and I, we could transcribe some of those as well. So, and you know, we could take people's stories and go around and speak to children and go to senior retirement homes and, you know, share histories there and collect histories there. So so there are so many ways we could do this, but I've been very impressed with people who are here on this call who have been sharing their histories. And I believe on the redlining website, Miss Annette Wilson has at least one interview there, and Councilperson Scipio, your interviews are there. And so so I really feel we have to re-embrace with joy and eagerness this really this vision and what we're charged to do by the city, which is to really create this wonderful, rich, complex archive of the oral history collections, as well as any images and documents. And I feel really good about it. I think at least in the fall, I think we're going to start moving really quickly on this. And so we'll keep working together on it. And next spring, hopefully I'll have a good 20, 30 students who we could involve in some other ways. And so we'd have a lot of students. Let's keep our fingers crossed on that to help us next spring.
There's also another resource. I just want to plant this seed. I don't know if we have to have, you might have to have a vote, or maybe Dr. AAHI might be able to take this little seed and figure out how it can be used. But the city of Winston-Salem funds the Urban League to hire high school students, and they are paid for summer internships. And I had 2 last year, and I'm going to have a couple of more, well, at least 1 or 2 this year in June. But it's just, that might be a wonderful way to have young people come in and do part of our interviewing, going out in the neighborhoods, collecting stories with a little supervision, to sort of make it fun, or doing any scanning and that kind of stuff. But that's just a resource that we could look to possibly tapping into. And it starts in June, and I think it goes to August, but they're paid internships.
Well, that would be wonderful. What a wonderful way to get paid. And and then I always think about how perfect it is to have the young people connect with the elders. That's so good for both sides. So so I hope we can get that going. Well, it looks like we've lost a few people, and I know we're right at a little after 3.
Chairman, I had one
Yes,
announcement I wanted to make. I did receive information from the Historic Marker Committee that they're planning to have a historic marker installed on May 20th at 3 p.m. This is the unveiling for the Boston Cottage Company, and this is going to be held at St. Holmes United Methodist Church on Thurman Street. And that's May 20th, which is a Saturday.
Thank you for that, Miss Annette. And so that, will you be there at that time?
It is my intention to be there. I do have a commitment that morning, but I should be through by 3 o'clock to be there. Okay. Yes. So if at least one of us joins you, then that would be a nice day, good opportunity to promote our project and hopefully collect maybe some photos as well as history. So thanks for that. And you and I can talk offline, and if you want to plan some more with that, then we can discuss that and hopefully get a few other people involved. So thank you for that. It's at least a wonderful opportunity to meet people. And even if we don't get to do their histories that day, maybe make some contacts, because a lot of history was given when I went to the one on Walltown.
Mhm.
So it's my understanding any information that they submit with their application, we'll automatically get that. But those individuals do have a lot of rich histories to share.
Indeed, and I know from speaking with Michelle McCullough, she's told me that anytime one of those markers is approved and goes up with the applications, there are a lot of oral histories and pictures that don't make it into the PDF, the official PDF that goes along with. So the city has this whole archive of wonderful PDFs for every city marker. And so that's other material that we can use. Michelle has told me that she would make that kind of material available to us. And I would invite everybody to, join the writing team, my writing team with the interns, because we certainly don't want to just corner the, control that. We're there to keep it going, but we're really there for everybody in terms of trying to share sources and help people write. But we would love to have everybody on the committee join our writing team. So if you're interested in that, just call me or email me. But we have so many rich materials, and it would be wonderful if we got a grant. We could hire numerous research interns to help us really go through all this material and catalog it and really make it available online for everybody to access. So, well, are there any other questions or comments or suggestions before we break for the day?
Chair Villa-Gomez, I did want to mention that we will have a couple of interns this summer. We're anticipating having 2, possibly more. And so it would be something that could really be a benefit for what we're trying to do with AAHI. So I just wanted to put it out there, but we're still trying to work that out. But if we're successful with those internships, then that would be something that, we could potentially coordinate along with your interns and with the AAHI committee members.
That's wonderful. Yes, I would love to meet any interns that you do bring on board, and I'll be around a lot of the summer, so I'd be really happy to get to know them, and I hope everybody on the committee would. But that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I know the lovely young woman from Wake Forest that you had last year. She was very interested in and committed to our project. She wrote that really hard, difficult Mellon grant. It was a lot of work, and then our 2 interns worked on revising it, and we didn't submit it in the end. But for the city intern and the Winston-Salem state interns, being that young and having that opportunity to write up a grant proposal, a very prestigious and multifaceted proposal, and to get feedback from the Mellon reviewers, that was a wonderful, wonderful learning process and opportunity for all 3 interns, the city intern and the 2, including JJ and Marisol, who will be graduating. But they learned so much, and so that maybe is another thing we could think about coordinating. We might start looking at a grant that would be a perfect fit for our vision and where we want to go, and we could work with the interns and collaborate on that writing. So I didn't see it as a bad thing that we didn't submit it in the end, because it produced knowledge and it produced wonderful collaboration, and those young people will never forget what they learned from that process. So thank you. Well, I did check the date. We're not sure if we'll meet in June, but June 7th is the first Wednesday of the month. So if we do meet, And I guess we can explore that over the next few weeks and in email, but that would be our next meeting, June 7th. And I know we'll continue, if we meet in the summer, we'll continue to meet on Zoom. So if there aren't any other questions or comments or suggestions, we can adjourn for today. Well, thank you again, everyone. I so appreciate your support of AAHI. I know it has literally been one of the most wonderful things for me in my whole life to be a part of. And I'm just so happy we have new people like Miss Sheila Williams that love and adore this project and have a vision for it, and all of us who remain. And I think we are going to, in the fall especially, we're going to have a great season together. Lots of wonderful things are going to be happening in our community, and that's going to give us the opportunity to really get out there and connect. So please take good care. And if I don't see you on June 7th, I hope I see you on at our Juneteenth celebration. So stay well, everybody. Stay safe, and I will see you out there in the community.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.